And Jay Scherer is saying, was Disney Plus Day well executed in the parks? How is Disney combining the in-person and streaming service? That's kind of fascinating. Well, Jay, I honestly wasn't at the parks. I can't really say. Like,
Well,
I wasn't there. So I don't know how it was handled. I mean, I saw pictures of the big blue carpet, at the parks and how they lit up all the icons in blue. And I thought that was all kind of cool. But
they did a couple of things, right? So at Walt Disney World, I think you got like 30 minutes, 30 minutes early access to the parks if you were a Disney Plus subscriber. I think that's how
really?
they did some
cool
stuff. Yeah, and I think they gave out some merch, like a hat or whatever. Some pretty interesting ways of kind of leveraging this whole thing within the parks. I thought it was interesting.
Yeah, it was. It was interesting. And Disney Plus Day is very classic Disney. Disney loves celebrating like anniversaries, big milestones, creating these big events for
Do they
these
though?
things.
Do they? Because that was one of the things, between the parks guys and all
true.
of that was like, we got a lot of stuff for Disney Plus Day, but not so much celebrating the 50th anniversary of Walt Disney World, which is very interesting.
That was a big thing for the parks people. And this is the thing. This is the thing. And I think a lot of parks fans, and I could be out of line here or off base, but I think that the parks fans kind of need to recalibrate like what's kind of the priority at the company right now. Like there's a seismic shift in Hollywood right now. And the streaming wars, they really need to plant their flag and stake their claim in this war. This is survival right now, you guys, with these studios. The Walt Disney World 50th is an important event. No doubt it's a huge milestone. But it's not going to make or break the company.
Right.
So it's not reality, and it sucks. I get it, but it's not going to be the focus like a Disney Plus Day, where Disney Plus really, you see the stock price tank when anytime it'll skyrocket or tank just based on Disney Plus.
Yeah,
everything that the stock price is doing is based on Disney Plus. In our bubble, I'm not getting reservations to the park. This is the worst thing ever. Oh, Genie Plus is costing too much. All that stuff means nothing to the board, to the shareholders, nothing. Disney Plus rules the show. They're king of the hill. And that's really what they should be focusing on. That's what the future is right now. They got to get that settled and really stake their spot. And so I can understand why Disney would focus more on the Disney Plus stuff than the Walt Disney World 50th. I just think there's more at stake with it. But I could be wrong. I mean,
it's definitely what investors are looking at, right? In the last quarterly earnings report, that Disney didn't meet their Disney Plus subscriber projections, right? The stock went down 4% because of that. It's like, it's really, there's some other things, of course, attached to that, but that's a huge deal. I mean, that's a big deal. And again, when it comes to the positioning of Disney Plus in the market, it's vitally important. I mean, the studios believe, Disney included, that this is the future. Yeah. That there will be a time when theatrical might not be around, or at least might be a different venue than what we envision it right now. And when that change occurs, when that change happens, where are you going to be? Are you going to be are you going to be a studio that's going to be acquired? Right? As we've been seeing from like MGM and so forth, or are you going to be a studio that's going to be one of the three left standing at the end?
Right. Exactly. And this is the thing. If you ever watch that documentary from a lot now, wow, it's almost been a decade now, but Waking Sleeping Beauty.
Right.
And Roy Disney, the nephew, not the brother.
Yeah.
He has a little thing in there, and he's saying Disney is, and will always be about the film business. The film business, the studio side of this company fuels everything.
Everything.
And even more so now than ever, because at least before, Disney would make attractions based on original ideas. But now they don't. now everything comes from some sort of franchise. If you don't have that studio healthy, up and running, vibrant, churning out those IPs, you don't even get the attractions in the parks. Right. So it's vital that Disney gets that studio end of it, which is tied very closely to Disney Plus. They get that right. They don't get that right, and the whole thing falls apart.
You make a great point. I mean, look, think about where we've seen the parks in trending for the last 10 years, maybe even longer than that. You know, the product that you see in theaters fuels the product that you see in the parks in terms of like an attraction, right? And then look at the product that's sold afterwards or in amongst or during, right? At the gift shop at the end, right? That all is fueled by the studio. So like you said there, I mean, if they don't get that right, other divisions suffer as a result. And that's why Bob Chapek is taking a keen interest in what the studio does and what the creatives decide to do. And, the consequences and accountability for some of those actions and decisions, right? And that's why he's doing the things that he's doing. It's because he's intimately aware that these things are invariably connected. He made some of those connections himself when he was, taken from the consumer products role and placed in the Disney Parks Experiences and Products. But at that time, Disney Parks and Resorts merged them together to make the division that we know today. They're invariably linked. And a lot of that success is predicated on what the studios actually produce.